ASM. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. We are about to start our run of Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, or I'll call it Sopfo a fair bit, thanks to the TCG actually. Before we get started, just a couple things I'm going to double check. Inside the menu, I need to make sure that the confirm optimization is off. In the control settings, this is actually kind of important, just to show you guys. It should remember this, but dash, I move to L1. Usually it's on L3. That is actually critically important. And then the last major thing, I believe, is under basic settings, and short soul burst animation is on. So we should be good to go ahead and start. So it'll start when it's on 3, 2, 1. This is the hard mode difficulty. So 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Good luck, good luck, good luck.
Alrighty, so this is Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. It is one of the most unique games pretty much ever, but we're going to jump right in media res, and this fight's going to look awful. I just have not practiced this fight enough for what it is. But, so this is a Souls-like remake, prequel thing to Final Fantasy 1 and Dissidia at the same time. They couldn't decide which one they wanted it to be, so it is just both. So you can't die in this fight, thankfully, so no matter how badly I play, it's not going to actually matter until we get out of the tutorial section of the game. I'll explain a little bit more about the actual combat as we get through it. Gosh. She is just not cooperating today. There we go. So this is, yeah, it's a Souls-like Final Fantasy made by the Neo devs. The strangest collaboration, basically, of all time. If you do have the chance, you might want to mute the game for just a second here. It's going to play about 2 seconds of My Way by Frank Sinatra. They just love licensing music in Final Fantasy. And now we're good. All right, so this is the tutorial. It's going to walk us through everything. Unfortunately, it cannot be skipped, so we have to do all of this. Okay, thank you, game. Okay. So yeah, some basic stuff. Obviously, attacks, defend. There is a dash in the game that is very good. We'll show that a bit later. One of the more unique things, kind of like almost a Sekiro type game, there is a stance gauge. If you put an enemy to 0, you can just instantly kill them. That works on everything from the first goblins we're seeing in the tutorial to the bosses. And depending on the boss, we'll be using that quite a bit. The other thing you have is a parry. So there's 2 different types of guard in this game. There's guard, which just reduces damage, and then there's parry, which completely blocks it and also builds MP. I basically will never be blocking. It's probably not correct to be doing that. All right, throw the rock. That's not throwing the rock. Throw the rock. One other thing that soul parries do is they allow you to steal abilities from enemies. So if an enemy uses an ability with the purple thing and you soul parry it, you get some number of stocks of it to use later on. It's generally pretty good to do so when you can. Not every enemy does that. And the last thing is Lightbringer, which is a temporary buff. You consume 2 bars of MP permanently. You get infinite soul parry for a little bit, and you also just do extra soul damage to enemies while you do. The other notable thing, and probably the main use of it for me, is it's actually a burst. If you are stunned and you can go into Lightbringer, you can burst yourself out of being stunned and actually play the game again, which is important because it prevents you from dying. This is on the hard difficulty. A lot of bosses will be either two-shotting me or just full comboing me to death if I get hit. So fun stuff, especially this early in the morning. Expect at least a couple of deaths over the course of the run. So this is hilarious, by the way. They didn't need to do this, but for some reason, this game starts. You go to the king, you show him your crystals like you would, it's the classic Final Fantasy 1 story. And he says, well, those are black crystals. I thought the crystals were supposed to be of light. He's like, well, maybe you guys aren't the warriors of light. I don't know. Go kill some monsters and prove it. So then it's like, off screen, Jack and his friends killed a bunch of monsters and came back to prove their worth. And it's like, you get back, it's like, you are skilled. It's like, okay, cool. Well, we didn't play that at all, but I guess that's important.
So to be clear, it sets up a problem and then resolves the problem.
Resolve the problem off screen before the game even starts effectively.
Also, can I just check, did you say that doing that block gives you 2 bars of mana permanently?
Blocking, you build meter depending on the amount of damage the hit would have done.
Okay.
When you go into Lightbringer, you consume 2 of them permanently. You also can
consume 2 permanently.
Yes,
okay.
they go away. If you watch at the bottom, you start with 2 at the beginning of every, you start with 2. If you use them, you can go all the way to 0. Most of your abilities use 1 meter or 1 MP.
And then for that fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I was sitting here being like, oh my god, you must have to really ration them out through the entire run if you lose them.
Thankfully, much like Souls-likes, there's also campfires. There's a lot of ways to get them back, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so here we are. We are off to the Chaos Shrine. One of the gimmicks of this game is that there are 15 stages. Each one is themed to a different Final Fantasy. Guess which one this one is themed to? This is Final Fantasy 1.
Seems like a good starting point.
Yeah, seems decent. So we're going to go on our way through here. So you're going to see right here, this is the main movement technique, and it's why I needed to map the dash to L1. I'm just holding the dash button and mashing the roll. Now, notably, there's 2 halves to the roll. There's the first half, which is that initial dash that I'm using right here. I should heal. Expect to see a lot of these things, by the way. These are effectively gates. I'm going to just ignore the enemies and help my allies and kind of distract them a bit. But yeah, there's 2 parts to a roll. There's the initial dash, which is crazy strong. Tons of iframes, fastest way of moving through stages. And then there's the second half, which you see right there with that roll. The second half is awful. You almost never want to do it. It actually makes you vulnerable again. You can dodge some command grabs with it, but in general, it's almost never worth doing. So right here, I'm going to steal this fire, run over here, where is it? Did I run past it? I did. Oh, cool, they opened it for me. Grab this chest, get a bunch of gear, come back over here. The game wants me to go through that door on the right. We're just not going to do that. We're just going to go right past all the enemies that want, the game's like, oh, that's a lot of enemies, you should go the other way. And we're like, nope, we're just going to run through them. Over here, we're going to find a Cactuar. This is, if you're familiar with Dragon Quest, this is a metal slime. So we're going to go ahead and kill this, get a bunch of EXP and gear real quick. That's why we got that fire earlier. Go here, heal. Because we're going to have to take a little bit of damage here. Right there, you're supposed to equip the mage job to use a water to turn off the fire. We're just going to run right through it. All right, now right here, unfortunately, you do have to take a bit of damage there, which is annoying because this next section is quite long and there is not a save point for a little bit without losing a bit of time. So we're just going to not use that save point and hopefully be fine. So running through. Notably, I'm picking up a couple of chests here. That one unlocked the mage job. This one, I wanted to open the door, not do that, but that's fine. We're going to pick up the spear there. That's going to give us access to the Lancer job. That's a surprise tool that's going to help us later. Keep in mind it'll be a couple hours from now or 2 hours from now. So running on through. This is the hardest part of Chaos Shrine right here. I'm going to go ahead and heal first. There is 3 of those gates right here. Come on. That's 1 down. That's good. One thing that's nice, when you kill these gates, the enemies they spawn actually die as well. So we're going to go over here. Okay. Saw the purple thing show up there. Game is not liking the lock-on right now. All right. Okay, go hit them, please, and just distract them for me. Anything with a red thing over its, like if they're using an attack with a red name, I cannot block that. One other thing, when you hit gates, you actually don't build any meter. So usually, ideally, what I want to be doing is I want to be hitting both the gate and an enemy at the same time. That allows me to build some meter while doing it. That's about as good as that fight can go, honestly. Very happy with that. Go around, collect all the gear here, and just ignore the rest of the enemies, and we're going to move right on to the next area. I'll try to show off like the difference in speed movement between just running and this... forget the technical term that people use for it, but this dash, it is significantly faster than just running. So right here, we're going to go through here real quick. You can't get to that door without using the dash before the tutorial, so just like a nice little example of the speed. Go in here. This chest has a key that we need to go to the last area. We're going to grab that, and then we're just going to dash out of the room before these enemies can really even process that we were in there. All right. So it's kind of a rhythm to the mashing for the speed. If you mash too quick, you get the roll. So real quick here, oh, I need to go do... So this game has a full job tree, which I ate my input. There we go. Something important, we're going to start off here. We're going to go to the duelist. We're going to use one anima shard. We're going to get access to an ability called Venom. And then we're going to go ahead and equip a, let's see, this needs to be mage on the back, and I believe sword fighter there is fine. One more thing, go here, all the way to command abilities, down, Venom. All right. So we want to get the EXP onto the mage class here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw on Venom before the boss fight. And here is our first boss. And Chaos Advent is actually one of the harder bosses in the game because we're using the class that we don't use for a majority of the run here, which is we're going to use mage because we need to unlock white mage by the end of the next chapter. So we're going to try to get a couple hits in early here to get that poison ticking, which we have. So we're going to go ahead and start using Stormbreaker to try to do a bit of extra damage. That fiery hold does a ton of damage. Thank you, Jed, for getting in the way. Usually that'll just roll through. And I got one shot there. Well, two shot technically, but I was down on the first hit. Dang. That's unfortunate.
Had a donation come in some solidarity for you.
Yeah, go right ahead.
We've got a $16 donation from Rafi who just says, I hate chaos, which I feel you might be feeling right now. As a reminder as well, folks, throughout this entire event, we are raising money for Game on Cancer, which is a charity that funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research to make this the last generation to die from cancer. And if you'd like to donate, you can go to donate.ausspeedruns.com. Reminder as well, if you want to leave a comment, you can send your money towards one of our donation incentives. Next one's coming up. We've got the opportunity to name some Pokemon in our Pokemon run later today. So feel free to get those donations in and to put that money towards whatever you're looking for there.
Not dead yet. I don't know if we can make it without any potions.
Be safe, guys.
All right. Not a great phase one. So every boss has two phases. One, you do the first phase, you do something to them to kind of mess them up. In this case, we're going to break his sword. And now we're going to go to phase two. And he's a lot more aggressive in phase two.
So this is what darkness does to humans. Keep it alive.
All right.
Feels rude for your literal first boss to do the "you haven't seen my final form."
Yeah, like I said, this is especially he gets so aggressive in that second phase. It really does. There we go. That's a much better phase one.
Nice.
So you see right there, I didn't even do all of the first health bar. I just broke his soul gauge there. All right, so phase two, we're going to re-up our Venom. He always follows up Blaze with that. And there's Ice Sword, which is really not ideal. Problem with Ice, when he puts Ice Sword up, here we go. I blocked that. Make sure to not get hit by that. That would have been bad. I blocked that as well. I'm dead. This is genuinely one of the harder fights in the run.
Getting desperate.
I feel like we're seeing the consequences of that hard difficulty select at the top.
Yeah, a little bit. That's once again comboed into death. All right. There we go. 6 hits is poison, so now I do. Something that's kind of nice in this fight, Stormbreaker is both a good homing attack, and also sometimes he'll just whiff while you're doing it. Nope. I don't know when I took a hit there. Okay. The one other annoying thing about Lightbringer is because you don't get knocked back, it actually is hard to tell when you take damage sometimes.
Getting desperate.
Drink them all at once.
Stay sharp.
All right, let's lock in.
We got this.
block that. Ah, you.
It was so close.
No, I saw the hit. I was in the middle of the attack, and I saw him go for the grab, and I was like, I'm dead. I was like, and there was nothing I could do too.
So my whole life flashed before my eyes.
All right. Okay.
Is that just an insta-kill if you get grabbed? or-
It is about 90% of your health. If you're at full, you live. If you're not at full, you die. I did not have enough meters to go into Lightbringer there, so I just had to eat that and did not have enough health to live it.
Brutal.
Boiled down to getting hit by the attack before. Okay, kind of happy that missed because I did not think that was going to. All right. Little help from the teammates would be nice here.
Gotta stay sharp, guys.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go.
It is funny. Like, you see how little damage I do relative to his health bar. It's entirely the break age that matters in that fight. That will not be the case for every boss fight. It kind of depends with the boss. I know why that fight was so bad. I forgot to actually gear up before it. Oh my god.
We had chat pointing out that the characters are all dressed in just like normal clothes, t-shirts and stuff. Which I assume that's not the gear you're talking about. But
No, yeah, no. I did not, as part of the menu to put on Venom, I'm supposed to also just optimize my gear real quick. So I was just doing less damage and taking more damage than I was supposed
just
to.
checks out.
I'm going to blame the early morning for that. I'm going to let this one cutscene run because it's kind of infamous, and you haven't played, you know nothing about this game, right?
I have never seen this game before, so I'm very excited.
Okay, cool. Good thing is our estimate is very lenient thanks to the difficulty.
Yeah, just like before.
And it takes into account showing this and one other cutscene over the course of the game.
Brilliant.
I'm Neon. And not Chaos. Guess I was right.
Huh. Feels like there's a story behind that.
My allies and I set out to rid the land of chaos. The journey took its toll. One by one we fell, until only I remained. It was then that I finally realized the truth. Chaos isn't a man, or a monster. Chaos is just a fairy tale. The darkness, the beasts, this despair that eats away at people's hearts. It's easy to blame a single thing for all of that. It gives people hope to think the world can be saved with a single heroic deed, even if it's never that simple. So I decided to become a sacrifice. I offered myself to the darkness and prayed to become chaos, hoping some band of heroes would defeat me and thus bring an end to this empty dream.
Bullshit. That's such a heartfelt monologue.
Jack
to
is,
have that come out. Of
Jack is just a one-of-a-kind protagonist. There really, no one does it like him.
Best part. She literally follows him along the entire way.
Yeah, this like crazy monologue, like, oh, you know, this is, you know, who I am and why I'm here. And he just goes, I think he just bullshit. Puts on his phone, puts on music, and just walks away.
the blasting the music on the way out as well. It's
Just absolute perfection. Like Jack is like. The funny thing is, like, that cutscene is a meme, obviously. The, like, I want to kill chaos is a meme. But, like, Jack is a genuinely interesting protagonist as well. And, like, the lore of the game is shockingly well put together for what it is. There just are moments where Jack is just the funniest damn thing in the history of time. Well, there's another one of those later on that I will be showing.
I am very excited now.
All right, so we obviously took care of the Chaos Shrine, so we must be the Warriors of Light. That means that we're going to do the same thing, and they're going to fix the bridge so we can head out and fix the 4 crystals. Just like in Final Fantasy 1, you know. Not that any of the characters know that this is Final Fantasy 1, obviously, but...
As far as they're concerned, it's Final Fantasy.
But yeah, no, the game really is it is something special. It's got a lot, like I said, the lore in the game is surprisingly deep. It's got a lot of Nomura-isms where there's just kind of weird stuff, but like it's shockingly well put together. It's technically a prequel to Final Fantasy 1, but it also ties in with a lot of Dissidia lore, which is why all the different stages are themed to different Final Fantasies. There's like a real reverence for a lot of different aspects of the game. The music in all the levels has like, you know, undertones and current stuff from the game that they're based on. And then, yeah, like I said, Jack also is just a fantastic protagonist. And I really like the character designs in this game are kind of hilarious. You know, like there's obviously something funny, but like Jack literally wearing like a t-shirt and jeans, you know, in this like medieval society. But like there's lore behind that like there isn't anything else. Like it's genuinely well made. So here we're going to go to Provoca, which the area here is Provoca Sea Grot, which is based on Sastasha. If any of our Final Fantasy XIV enjoyers are in the audience, this is the first dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV. And if you've played Final Fantasy XIV and gotten to this point and do daily duties, you've probably done this dungeon about 100,000 times at this point because yeah, every new player has to do this at least once. It pretty commonly shows up on Duty Roulette.
We've been walking for a
All
while.
right, so the good news about the fact that I killed Chaos Advent multiple times, I'm probably going to get access to Yeah, that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the white mage job. And I got that way earlier than normal. So let's go back here. That's all maxed. Go back to battle settings. And I'm gonna just hit optimize. There we go. Now I have the proper gear, and I need to also equip the white mage job. So battle settings one more time. Swap mage over to the white mage.
I feel like we're looking significantly more fantasy now.
Yep. So now I have access to haste, which is the entire reason we unlocked the white mage job.
Yeah, he's zooming.
And you can see the actual speed difference. It's almost so fast, especially with the dash canceling that we're doing. It's like hard to control, especially considering like, you know, the dash, I have my finger held on the, you know, obviously I have to move, and I have to hit the X button to do the dash. Controlling the camera is actually kind of difficult. So you'll see me kind of barrel into walls a little bit more than I probably would if I wasn't having to hit the X button every, you know, half second or so. So right here, we're just going to run right through all these pirates. Yeah, the glowing stuff is kind of again, if you played Sastasha, you're like, oh, wow, this looks familiar. It's funny because they didn't really say that it was like inspired by the other Final Fantasies when this game was announced. And I remember getting this area, I was like, huh, this looks a lot like Sastasha. That's neat.
I feel like I know this level.
Yeah, I've been here before. So this is Sword Fighter. This is actually it's one of the two, like one of the default jobs, but it's also a very good one for the purposes of the speedrun, and we're going to be using it for a majority of the game. Leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone. Thank you. So what Sword Fighter does, Sword Fighter has a default ability called Interception. And Interception is incredible. It basically says that if I would get hit, I don't get hit, and instead I do this big cleave attack.
That does seem better than getting hit.
Yeah, and it's kind of a thing that made the hard mode run initially viable. I know that currently the world record holders have learned how to optimize this, and they'll do this with the Berserker class. I'm not to that skill level. I haven't sat down and learned how to do that. But what being on Sword Fighter allows me to do is it allows me to be extremely aggressive because, you know, if every time the first time I get hit, instead I don't get hit and I do a big attack instead, I can be very aggressive on hitting stuff because it's like I don't have to worry about my health nearly as much. You see right here, this is one of the issues with hitting these. I'm not building meter in the bottom left there. I need one full bar of it to actually use either a spell or an attack, like one of the special attacks. So we're going to go ahead and clear out these gates. There are some downsides to Interception. One of the biggest ones is because I can't soul parry with it active, I can't actually build meter other than by hitting enemies. And that's the biggest one. And like that's obviously a big deal. But it's not that big of a deal. The actual parry attack does a lot of damage. And just by being so much more aggressive, you know, again, we could just be up in the enemy's face, you know, with a lot less of a care in the world. And, you know, if we miss an attack or, you know, try to do one extra hit and then end up getting hit instead, it's not the end of the world. We're not going to just die or something, right? So it ends up being pretty fast in general. So right here, we're going to go over here. We're going to skip that first one. Go over here, get this before the enemies kind of have a time to proliferate. Go right here, grab this. Technically, we can go to the boss, but I would like to get a save point for safety, and I'd also like to get access to doing stuff. So we're going to go kill this other pillar. This is going to bring us back to that checkpoint earlier. Something this game likes to do is it kind of likes to make these areas a little bit more like kind of circly, and once you unlock the full route, you can go through and do things. So we're going to go here. We're going to re-optimize our gear, go back to the job trees, and go just kind of grab a couple of these. Nope. I did not mean to do that. Let's go there. And then go swordsman. So we need to get towards the warrior job eventually. That's the other goal. Did I get the... I do need to get this. 'Cause I need to unlock the Ronin class. So... All right, so on to Captain Bikke. This is the other hard fight in the early game. It's a very fun fight. The difficult thing in this fight is there are a lot of mobs that spawn during it. And something you'll notice, bosses are actually not one of the harder, like necessarily the hardest part of this game sometimes. Crowd controlling randoms is genuinely harder than bosses. So right there, you see that interception coming in. I have an ability called Interception Mastery as well that says if I can soul parry, I actually get to yo-ho-ho. That's a command grab. Does a ton of damage. Also just eats a ton of time. So let's go ahead and do those. We can take care of these pirates. And I would like Bikke to leave me alone, please. All right. Oh, back away. Again, the red blocks, the red attacks you can't block. And he went ahead and grabbed Jed there. Get Venom up. Also, this song is so good. Second best boss fight music in the game.
I've been thinking throughout, it's a banger soundtrack.
The only annoying thing about the soundtrack in this game is there is a battle theme that shows up when you're in combat, and you hear it a lot more than you hear the actual stage theme,
right.
Unfortunately.
Turns out you're in combat a fair bit.
Yeah, you know, that's a thing that you might expect in an RPG. Okay, let's go kill this guy. Ow, that got me? Really? Okay. So Bikke is going to come back over to me. That also got me. Wow. You see the nice thing about interception now, where it's like, that hit from behind, I really wouldn't have expected that to hit me, but the interception had me covered anyway. And we first tried Bikke, which is nice. That is not a fight that is easy to first try. Go here, grab our gear from it, and get ready for our next stage. So if anybody's played Final Fantasy 1, you know you kill Garland, then you take care of Bikke at Provoca, and then you have to go meet Astos, the Dark Elf. Astos' stage is based on Final Fantasy 2. It is Palamisha Castle is what it's based on. Very fun stage, a lot of interesting stuff going on here. So we're going to go head over to the Western Keep. It is funny, this game also has some DLC. I wish the DLC was viable to kind of tack on to the end of the run. It really isn't. It expects you to do a lot of kind of grinding. There's a really fun, like, the intended, like, gameplay loop of this is you're supposed to beat the game and then go into the post-game where it kind of becomes like a Diablo-like, where it's like you kind of hunt for gear and build up better gear and then, you know, fight harder and harder versions of the bosses. But we don't really have the ability to gear up quickly to do the DLC bosses, even though they're like pretty neat and like they're, you know, the first one you fight like Bahamut, which is a super sick fight. Second one is based around Gilgamesh, which if you know anything about Final Fantasy lore, makes a lot of sense. Like he can just show up wherever he wants to anyway. And then the last DLC was the Emperor from Final Fantasy 2. Like I said, they didn't know if they wanted to tie this into Final Fantasy 1 lore or Dissidia lore, so they tied into both, which is kind of strange. There technically are two endings to the last DLC. One that ends with you going into Dissidia and one that ends with you going into Final Fantasy 1.
So in the game, they were just like, it could be either, like, up to you.
Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of there were a lot of questions when the game first came out because there's a bunch of little hidden. Nomura had a pretty heavy hand in both the story and like a lot of the characters for the game. Like Jack is a Nomura design, obviously, but like there's little like snippets of lore and like behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of it people were playing through it and they're like, the game is saying like all this Final Fantasy 1 lore, but like this all ties into Dissidia. Like, which one is this actually leading into?
And they're just like, yes.
Because like also Dissidia has a lot of lore with Final Fantasy 1. Like canonically, Final Fantasy 1 happens after Dissidia happens or something like that. Like it's or like Dissidia happens before Final Fantasy 1 as well. So they had to like find a way to tie all that in. Final Fantasy 1 obviously is a bit ahead of its time in the story department. Like it tries to tell this like time loop story. Again, it was an NES game, very basic for its time. So right here, we're kind of the catapult's firing. It's really should not ever hit us if we just do our movement properly. You kind of have to just be standing still to have it be a problem. You're intended to kind of stand still, wait for it to like run out of bullets for a little bit, and then do the thing. But yeah, we're just gonna go ignore it and keep going. So we're gonna go touch the crystal, re-get our mana back, and that'll allow us to cast haste again. So I'm gonna go here, drop. Much like any good soul speedrun, we get to run past all the enemies on our way to the bosses a lot of the time. Open this chest for a bit of gear. The gear is random. There are points in the run where you'll see me kind of fishing for drops on chests that I know have a good chance of dropping the item, like a weapon that I can use. One of the other problems with Sword Fighter is it's a class that only can use one type of weapon. And that means that it's very hard for me to stay properly geared in a couple of areas, especially when we get towards the later parts of the game and there are more classes and weapons that the game drops. One thing that also about this game that is kind of funny, when you speedrun this game, you learn to hate elevators.
Don't we all?
And you might say like, oh yeah, sure, like waiting for this elevator right here sucks. Like, you know, we have to like wait and kind of stall. If I die in this room, it remembers that this elevator is here, by the way. And
the old Dark Souls problem.
And I have to wait on the bottom floor for that elevator to show back up. So like dying actually wastes even more time than it would there. Thankfully it's not an issue. If you reload the entire stage, it will not remember that. But if you die and go back to the checkpoint, it remembers where the elevators currently are or were on your last one, because it remembers what happened on the stage. Like if you kill, you know, like one of those towers, it remembers that even if you die afterwards.
And that's because you were saying you got a bunch of extra XP from the Chaos fight from the early deaths, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually was kind of nice. It got me the White Mage job a lot earlier than I normally would. So this
We're
is
just setting up for the rest of the run.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I'm really not very far off being full build. So this is the Black Knight fight. This is actually one of my favorite fights in the game. And listen to the music in the first part of this and just tell me it isn't epic. Ah, shoot. Early hit. Come on. All right. Okay, come on. I know you're going to charge. I want you to face me, please, so you can stop doing the hind leg kick, and also please stop charging me. So the more damage he's taken, the more charges he'll try. Okay, well, he's mad at one of my allies there. Really? I've never seen him just like randomly charge like that many times.
He wants to run free.
So we rip the horse's ears off, stab it into the horse's eyes, and then throw the horse at him.
Huh.
I mean, it's effective.
That's quite a phase transition there.
All right, let's get Interception back up. Let's get Venom up. And we called out Windstorm in case he tries to call the Phantasms again, which he's going to do here. There we go. Good fight.
Nice.
Yeah, the actual animations in this game are so satisfying to watch sometimes. The animation of like what he does to the horse is just hilarious. All right, that was Palamisha Castle. So the next stage is based on Final Fantasy XIII. This is the Sunlit Waterscape. It's a pretty interesting stage. A lot of little movements, things that are going on here. The gimmick of this stage is there are two modes to it. There's a mode where it's raining and a mode where it's not raining. And you have to kind of toggle between the two of them to kind of get through the stage. So go ahead and skip the cutscene. And here we go. So real quick, let's go ahead and re-optimize our gear real quick. You'll see me try to do that. The nice thing about elevators is it gives me a good opportunity to actually optimize gear without losing time because I have to wait for the elevator to move anyway. So right here, these little orbs are what cause the area to shift between rain and not rain. Really? You followed me there? Okay.
That thing changes the weather.
Nope, other way.
The forest is different.
I never knew plants could grow so fast.
Watch out. Sometimes nature
Round and drop.
turns into this.
What is it?
When unnatural power is fused with the natural world, it becomes a source of darkness.
You're full of surprises.
It's just something I heard.
Right here, go around.
Fine. Up ahead. Come on, follow me.
And there's that fire elemental over here. I kind of want to see if I can bait him into throwing that fireball at me. There we go. Thank you.
I'll take that.
I'll use that nicely.
Now then, let's get ourselves together.
So I
So-
take it the rain versus sun like changes the
Yeah.
layout of the level.
Yep. Rain allows those plants to grow. And if it's not up, then there are like areas where it's like, hey, this area is flooded, so you need to not be raining to go
Right.
through those.
Seriously awesome.
Yeah, grabbing that fireball makes that area a lot easier. You'll also notice like I didn't haste going into that. The reason was just because I needed to save the MP for that little fight. Sometimes that can go tricky.
You've seen what's
So right here, we're going to start the rain. Move right past it. See right there, the tree moved because it started raining. Throw on interception, go right here. Kill this wall real quick.
I could do that. See anything following us?
I could keep going. There you are. Let's knock on the
Right here, this is a little bit tricky. We need to go set the loop here. Sometimes you can get knocked off and have to run that entire loop again.
Oh.
If you don't get that rope down first. Hit the button, go back up, and now this area over here that was flooded is not flooded anymore, so we can go right on through. Go ahead, re-up our haste, and run right on through here. Sometimes these levels are actually really tricky to memorize the layouts on. If you see me occasionally kind of go the wrong direction, it's just because I'm thinking of a different part of the stage. You'll see some of them are kind of wild. The first ones are not too bad, obviously.
I see some cubes over there.
So let's go do this. Every time we touch those, we do re-up all of our MP. We do lose our buffs when we do that, so I have to re-up haste if I touch one, but usually, like again, it takes pretty little time to re-up haste. So right on through here,
I bet.
I have a perfectly healthy
and around,
beer. You go out there, Ash. Tell
and
me those
down.
bugs aren't the hazard.
So, turn off the rain. That's going to turn off the flood there, which allows us to go drop down here.
Remember you said if we met chaos, we'd start respecting Jack?
Huh.
Did I? Yep.
Sorry, he's right.
Any chance you could forget them?
Yeah, the character banter in this game is really fun. Like I said, I really like the characters and the story of this game. It is that like right level of like kind of silly, but like again, there's enough to it, enough depth that like if you do actually dive in, it's actually pretty fun.
What's your stat, Jack?
So we're gonna go running right on up over here. Watch out for those harpies. If I got knocked off there, that would have been annoying, but I didn't, thankfully. Oh, okay, that's fine. That one I wanted to actually fall. Run through here, run past that. There's a chest on the left I'm going to grab to kind of fish for some gear real quick before the boss. And we are there. So this is going to be the Elementals fight. So real quick, let's go battle settings. Let's go ahead and optimize our gear again. Go back into the job trees. And we're going to go in. Generally, it doesn't matter too much what we get on each of these. Need to get to job level 7, I believe. No, it's job 9. And then I need to go to the swordsman.
Just while you're setting up for the boss fight, we've had a couple of donations come in. We've got a $10 donation from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you very much, Anonymous. And also a $50 donation from Puexil, once again with no comment. Thank you very much, both of you, for donating to this wonderful cause.
Thanks, Puexil. Much appreciated. Done a lot with RPG Limit Break, where I've actually run this game in the past as well. Puexil is one of the 2 owners of it. Incredible speedrunner as well in his own right. So here is the dual elemental fight. This is one of my favorite fights in the game if done well. This first phase determines a lot here. So right there, got a good chip of damage in. And you see again just how aggressive I'm able to be because of interception. And that's phase 1.
Nice.
Which is good. Phase 2 is kind of strange for this fight. There's a command grab that I just do not know how to dodge. It does not do a lot of damage, thankfully. But because of that, it's nice coming in here with all my potions. That's the command grab right there. This phase is not too difficult. It's just that command grab. So I just need to make sure I'm at enough health where that's not going to kill. Yep. You see, it doesn't even do that much break damage. Like, I didn't get broken on that even. So, I got broken there, but... Yep, got me again. I think you just need to be further away than, like, 1 dash, but, like... Okay, I'd appreciate it if you would stop doing that. There we go.
Nice.
That's why I wanted to go in there with as many potions as possible. So, by the way, if you look in the bottom left, the green little circles, that's the number of potions I have. Every time I touch a checkpoint, they replenish back to 5. You can technically get extras by killing enemies over the course of the thing. Generally, it's not going to matter. I'm going to go into most bosses assuming I have 5 heals over the course of the fight. It's a Souls-like. The rest is Flask, essentially. All right, so Sunlit Waterscape. Our next stage is Final Fantasy III. This is the Crystal Tower, probably the most iconic location in FF3. Kind of unfortunate you don't get to hear very much of the music in this stage. Crystal Tower has some great music in both FF3 and in the Final Fantasy XIV recreation of it. This is a pretty interesting stage. There's kind of two phases to it. So the first phase of this stage is nothing too crazy. We're going to go over here real quick. We're going to re-optimize our gear real here. So go back, do that.
There's chaos. Come on.
And on we go.
Enemy spotted.
Let's knock them down.
See anything following us?
Let's get ourselves together. Here it comes.
And up these stairs. Where is it? There it is.
Better tread carefully.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to control the camera, especially on like kind of U-turns like this, because I can't both dash and use the stick and move at the same time. So right here, this is a giant, this is a little mini boss. It's not too bad. Mobs are a bit strange because they don't necessarily stun the same way that bosses tend to. Right there, that's the command grab. Got to dodge to the left to avoid it. I got my ally there, thankfully, otherwise I think he would have gotten me. There we go. Nice and clean fight against him. So he's going to drop a key. We're going to use that key right here. We're just going to unlock the warp to the second half of the stage. And this half of the stage is actually pretty technical. There are a bunch of little lasers here that you can... they fire when they are hit with magic specifically. So if I move properly here, there we go, perfect. And then hopefully that should hit that. And if it doesn't, let's just fire it ourselves. So I want that to hit me so I can steal the Firaga. Technically fire's better. No, okay, we're just gonna use the Firaga, that's fine. You want fire there because you get 3 charges instead of just 1 for the Firaga. And all we want, I was hoping that was going to hit me. All we want is the number of charges because we want to use that rather than casting our own spells to proc these individual lasers. So we're going to move on up.
Weird. I feel like I've climbed this tower before. Or is it a different tower?
This place plays tricks on the eye.
So right there, that laser we can just, or that crystal we can just walk over and hit. Back on over here, keep moving on through the stage.
All you got? Let's nip this thing in the bud, Jack.
So there's a couple. Right there's another laser. That one's not one we need. If it's firing, you can't move it. So the movement's actually kind of important here because if the lasers, if it gets hit by a spell from the enemy before then, obviously we can't move it. We have to wait for the entire laser to finish firing before we can do it. So right here, I want to move this one. There we go. Got there just in time. Notably, this is kind of a scary area just because the save point was way back at the bottom of this section. Okay, cool. Let's say, can you please fire? Thank you. Okay. I'll take the free kill there. Actually, some decent gear, I think. Cool. That is not the easiest thing to do, I'll be honest. So moving on through here, going up to the last segment of the Crystal Tower. Steal that water, which is kind of a nice bit of CC. And here we go.
That's a huge headache waiting to happen.
Let's get it on.
And of course, that all whipped. There we go. Nope, that was not what I wanted to hit. There we go. Grab this chest real quick. And on to the boss, which is the Chimera. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to go Advanced Warrior. I think Mighty Strikes, and then White Mage. Where is it? Divine Sigils. There, right? Yep. So that is effectively full build on skills, which is nice. Again, kind of one of the nice things about doing this early. Nope, I want that to be Divine Sigil. And that to be Divine Strikes. Optimize my gear. And on. So Divine Sigil makes all the next buff I apply have about a 50% longer duration. Mighty Strikes means that my physical attacks always do weak damage to the opponent. Which pairs really well with the fact that basically this is a very physical heavy build. So here we are, this is the Chimera. So you'll always start off by flying like that.
Getting desperate.
I hate Snake. Do something, Jack. Thanks.
Yeah, it's definitely a more traditional take on it for sure. Okay. One of the annoying things sometimes is you don't know when an attack's about to hit you, so you'll start to block. It's like, that should hit me, and then it just whiffs. A couple bosses are really bad because the Chimera can be rough on that. My interception wore off there. We are a good spot here. All right. So that's phase one. Again, you see how much health it technically has as far as HP, but I'm killing it on break gauge by doing so much damage. So we break its wings, and now both of its wings are now also snakes.
I think I liked it more when the wings were wings.
Better tread carefully.
There we go. Bosses also do have weak points if you hit them enough. Like you'll do a bunch of extra break damage. You see right here, I've hit the the snake wings enough that they're kind of down. There's a bunch of extra break damage when you do that. See right there, it's going to regenerate them. That's just basically to make sure that the boss has enough attacks for the end of the fight. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. Knock on wood, kind of a rough start, but the last couple of fights have been pretty solid.
Yeah, it feels like it's been really clean sailing since we got out of that first area.
Again, the Chaos Advent's weird because you use a different class than you usually use. You don't have a lot of abilities, don't have a lot of gear, and then also he just randomly has some kind of difficult to block attacks. And he also, again, has that weird gimmick sometimes where it's like, some attacks just don't hit you that should, so it's almost correct not to respect them, but if they do hit you randomly, you do just die sometimes as well. Again, that's just kind of comes with the territory of running this game sometimes, I feel like. Where it's
It's sort of a push your luck.
yeah. Yeah, how much do you want to respect an attack that may or may not hit you effectively? All right, so this is the Flying Fortress. This is the Tower of Babel from Final Fantasy IV, is what it is based on. So we're going to go here. Let's go ahead and quickly re-optimize our gear. Nope. Annoyingly, every time you start a new thing, it resets the default spell, and the default spell is Dia, which is like a holy element damage. Or, yeah. I don't want that. I want it to be on haste, but I have to remember at the start of every stage to do it. Once you do it the first time, it's not a big deal. So the gimmick to the Tower of Babel is that there are, again, there are these buttons that kind of turn on electrical points over the course of the stage, and if they're not on, then you can't do things. So right here, for instance, this elevator was off until I hit the switch next to it. It's kind of the tutorial saying, hey, here's the gimmick in the stage, in big glowing green lights, effectively. So on we go through here. You also see these electrical walls through it. Sometimes those will block ways, or block the way, like you see right here. We hit the button here. We'll hit the button here. And we'll move on through.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
And we need to turn the elevator back on, so we go back over here, which then turns on the guns. And the walls there. So you're supposed to dodge through those pretty easy. While we're moving there, I can go ahead and optimize my gear and double check what I have. Let's throw that on. There is one piece of gear that isn't changed with optimize, and that's the accessory. The reason it doesn't do that is because it's kind of not a huge factor in what your build is. And also, it was not in the original 1.0 build of the game. It was added in DLC. So you'll see me occasionally try to use elevator rides as a chance to kind of check what I have in that slot and kind of fix it if there's a better one. So right on around and into the elevator.
Just quickly, we've had a $5 donation come in from Nev Flynn, who says, I respect Jack's strength.
All right, so right here. Didn't quite get it. So again, you'll see me try to, when I'm at these gates, I'll try to bring an enemy with me to it so that I can build meter as I'm hitting it to make it a lot easier to actually break through. Didn't quite pull that one with me, but that's fine. Let's go, a piece of gear over there I want real quick before we move on. So this segment, I've got to change that. So I've got to run in here, start this crystal. And hopefully those guys leave me alone. You're not invuln while doing that. Now I need to call the elevator. Again, we hate elevators in this run. Just kind of run a little circle around the outside of the arena for a little bit. Wait for that to change. Thankfully, all the Guardians are kind of distracted by my allies. Pull the giant away. There we go. And into the elevator we go.
Just leave your friends behind to pick up the pieces.
They'll figure it out, I'm sure, at some point.
They'll get the next elevator.
Yeah, I think HP recovery is still better than the other stuff I have there by a little bit. There it is. It's like, I know there's a safe point around here somewhere. So right here, we're going to go on through. I'm going to throw on interception here just to make it a bit easier. So we're going to sneak over here, bop this real quick. Basically, you're always going to get a hit there. Interception is going to get me out of that safely. Then we go back over here, lower this, since we had the electricity off to go around that bridge. Re-put on interception, go back here, turn on this. I don't know what's going on over here, but I don't want any of it. So we're just going to move on past. And the elevator is open behind this Gigas. Hopefully he doesn't command grab as we walk by. I don't think I've ever seen him get in this get in the elevator with me before. I didn't know they could do that. Okay, so this is the boss. This is Tiamat. This is an infamous difficulty spike for the game. honestly one of the hardest bosses to do casually. A little bit easier in the speedrun once you know what you're doing, but like still a very difficult fight, to be quite honest. Tiamat has a different gimmick. Her gimmick is that you really can't kill her with damage. You have to kind of break her second phase. Also, you'll notice we're fighting the bosses out of order from Final Fantasy 1, which is kind of one of those things that they intentionally did to try to throw you off what was happening with it a little bit. Because normally in traditional Final Fantasy 1, you'd be fighting Lich first. Also, you'll recognize this is the boss from the Meteor Res segment in the tutorial.
I was about to say, this was the start of the game, right?
It's wrapped in a storm. Not good. Things can't ever be easy. Better match. Don't worry. We got this.
Is this literally the same boss fight in terms of like move set and setting and all that?
Same moves. I feel like she's just more she works more consistently in this than she does in the tutorial.
Right. And I assume can actually kill you this time around.
Yeah, and like I'm also on a class I'm more used to fighting her on.
Yeah.
She uses that breath attack a lot more in the tutorial as well, and that like attack is super inconsistent on if it hits you or not. All right. So here we are on to phase 2. 2 potions is a little low, but we should be okay. So phase 2, again, we have to get through. She's going to regenerate at least once over the course of this. That's fine. Usually we don't want her to regenerate twice is kind of the goal.
This time, let's make sure it stays down.
Try not to get hit. What the hell is it doing? Its head is down. I'm going in.
I mean, Hercules fans, will you forget the head slicing thing?
That's the last of them.
There we go. Very
Excellent.
clean.
Well done.
Yeah, the 2 regenerates there is totally fine. I remember casually, I think I was stuck on that boss for about 2 hours the first time I did it. A very difficult fight. Some very fun stuff you can do there. I remember I got there with Void Knight as my class when I played this game the first time. And you can do some hilarious stuff. Void Knight allows you to absorb magic, and that Try Disaster is a magic attack, so you can just throw it back at her.
Ooh, that sounds very satisfying.
Yeah, and it's like this like big. Also, multi-parrying is the thing that you do where you just like spam the parry button when you're getting hit by a multi-hit attack like Try Disaster, and like it's so satisfying to sit there in the middle of like this giant laser beam and just go ding ding ding, just like block all of it. So right here, real quick, we're going to edit our party. We're going to move in Sophia over Jed. And then we're going to go to the battle settings, and I'm going to go swap Ash up to his advanced class, which is going to be a Berserker, and we're going to swap Sophia over to Dragoon. The AI is just a little bit better on physical classes. Job trees, let's go ahead and just real quick. We should probably be able to master everything here. Yep. And then advanced should be probably at least a little bit of white mage left. Yeah. And on to Hallowed Mastiff. This is, what is it, Mount Gagazet in Final Fantasy X? It's where you meet Unileska in it. So the way this works, you get to choose whether you'd like to do the Fire Crystal or the Earth Crystal first. We're going to do the Earth Crystal, which is technically the harder of the two, but it'll kind of trivialize doing the 2 dungeons for the Fire Crystal a bit later.
Can't find the words for it.
So cold.
We are quite high up after all.
It's right
Perhaps we may even
here.
have the chance to talk to you.
Really? Are you crazy?
All right, let's grab this.
What now?
I hate this. I've got this sinking feeling in my stomach.
You know,
Up the hill.
might be pretty good at clubbing.
Avalanche, be careful.
Go ahead and tap this real quick. It's right here. Have to wait for an avalanche to come, so
More trash to dispose of.
just gonna throw the Silver Lobo into the wall beforehand. Maybe get a bit of gear. Nah, doesn't look like it. Just waiting on the avalanche. There we go. That's gonna open the way.
Rock solid. What did this?
I don't know. But they look like they're sleeping. I hope their dreams are at least pleasant.
Look at those icicles. They don't look very stable.
Great. Let's keep one eye on the ceiling.
It does not fear us.
Right here, we're gonna go into the blizzard. We just kind of want to hug the right a little bit so we don't fall.
I can barely see a thing.
I never thought it would be this bad. Let's go slowly. Am I glad we made it through there? Just
It's very funny. They're like, "Wow, the blizzard's so bad. Oh wow, we're back. That's nice." So right here, once again, we can kind of ignore the little mini boss and just go for the wall.
defenses falter. It does not
I think I've got some good gear. I'm actually doing a lot of damage to the wall and hitting it, which is nice. On we go.
So, when we first got to this mountain, I felt lost. Also excitement at the thought of scaling this thing.
Excitement? I don't believe you.
When I think of those
All right, in this last little section, there's 3 walls I got to take out in these directions. Just gonna take this one out first. Thankfully, we don't have to fight the Malboro. They are. It's Final Fantasy. Malboros are a pain to fight. Shocker. Take that down. That's our first of those. Grab the gear just in case. So one of the reasons you'll see me doing Breakdown, even though it doesn't really do that much damage to the door, is it also just is a crowd control method because the hitbox is pretty big on it. It extends behind Jack. I can kind of just pick up enemies behind me as well, which can be nice. It kind of throws them into it. It allows me to help build meter and also just does a lot of break damage to the wall if I can slam the enemy into it.
That's all of them. If we can breathe, we can fight again.
All right, so now right here, that wall's gonna go down. Got stuck on a rock there, I think. And we are on to the zombie dragon, which is the boss of the area. Very interesting boss. This is one of the ones that took me the longest to learn in the speedrun, but it's also really satisfying when it's done properly. This boss has a lot of little poison areas, so you take a lot of damage over time in this fight. That said, we can kill him very quickly if we do it properly, which is what we need to do. But he also has a lot of unblockables, a lot of attacks that we can't really do, so we want him to not rush at the start of this, would be the ideal situation. which he did not do, thankfully. So right there, deadly stomp. Just want to kind of back away, face the snout. Okay, I thought I was going to get bopped there. So you're supposed to not stand in the poison puddles. I'm going to kill him fast enough where the poison hopefully just shouldn't matter. I thought I was going to get whacked by that. Deadly stomp again, just kind of back away. Throw back up interception since I've got a sec. Deadly stomp again, kind of run at the snout. There we go, very nice. Alright. Kind of re-up our buffs because we really want the second phase to go quickly. Just gonna rip off his tail real quick. He doesn't need that. Putrefying Roar is annoying. It's so what I'm trying to do here as much as I can is hit those wings on the back.
Some of that for later.
There we go. Very clean.
Nice.
So yeah, the real thing you need to do there is if you don't focus on the wings and kind of the AoE and hitting all of them, you really don't do enough break damage and you will just get kind of poisoned out of that fight. You need to kill him quickly. It's kind of neat because like the better you are at that fight at speedrunning and beating him quickly, the easier that fight actually becomes, which is not always the case with these fights. So it's a really satisfying one to do. All right, I believe I promised one other cutscene.
I was just thinking that.
We'll get there. The lead into this next boss is my other favorite cutscene in the entire game. But first, we need to take a trip to Final Fantasy XII. This is the Cavern of Earth, also known as Final Fantasy XII's Imperial Tomb, I believe. They try to capture a little bit of the flavor here. There are some demon walls, just like there were in FF12. Not one of my favorite dungeons, kind of drab. Also very easy to get lost in, just because a lot of it looks very similar. So we're going to go right on through here, around to the right. And round over here to the left. Through there, there's some floor traps. Doesn't really matter. They'll just fire some arrows at me that I should avoid pretty easily.
Sorry, but I don't have time to play games with you.
And it's around and down here. Nope, that's the way I came.
I can see what you mean about potentially getting lost in here, because
yeah, it's a lot of kind of tunnels that look kind of samey, and again, especially when... Oh, yes, please stay there. Nope. I did not get my... Oh, gosh. This is a mess. Oh, my goodness. I'm just going to die here, aren't I? Oh. Nope. Okay, let's just back away for just a sec. We just have a nice little party going on there. Jeez Louise. What?
Yeah, there was a brief moment where I was like, okay, you said you want mobs around the gate, so this seems helpful. And I was like, that's a lot of mobs around this
Just a few. There we go. Yeah, again, it's nice. Like, you see how I'm like kind of slamming the enemy into the wall, which allows me to kind of build into the meter and crowd control everything around it. But like, I missed the first one got canceled by getting hit, and then it just kind of went in a bad spot from there. So this is the first of the demon walls. We're gonna go drop down here.
I expect to be impressed.
Haste is nice here because all that matters is the number of attacks. It's funny setting this on easy and like it still takes the same exact number of hits to go through. So go through there, and one more here. Oh wow, I got wombo combo between them. They kind of stabbed me back and forth for a second there. That's all right. One nice thing, again, it remembers when you clear things, so this first demon wall is already gone. So
Excellent.
don't lose much time there, which is nice. Just a little bit safer this time. I want the Mater from killing you, so we'll just do that real quick.
Should be fine here. I could keep
Fish for a drop as well while I'm at it. There we go. Yeah, maybe 20 seconds lost, not the end of the world. And go on down here. Okay, this is...
Let's be
I'm going to
quick.
play this a little bit safe and just kill this Hippogriff first. So you don't need to kill that guy, but it makes this a lot easier because I do need to kill the next one. And dealing with two of those at the same time is a little bit trickier. So right here, I'm going to ignore it first. Try to get this Earth Elemental into the wall so I can deal with it first. I just don't want random command grabs and fireballs coming from directions I'm not ready for. All right. Okay. I was about ready for you to hit me, and then they got canceled. Ow. Come on. Oh, nice. Thank you, Sophia and Ash. Appreciate that. That drops the key. We can go over here, use the key, move right on along.
Sophia.
This is kind of funny. Up ahead, there should be another demon wall that we just get to skip. It just doesn't spawn in fast enough, which is hilarious.
I wish I could tell you, but there's no way
So
for
I
us
think
to know for
it's
sure.
right here. Yep. So we're just going to ignore this and just run past it. And this wall doesn't move in fast enough to actually block our way.
Little. It's where I got the crystal from Jack.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
Reminisce about the past when you're old and gray. Right now we get a job.
All right. Let's go ahead. Oh.
All right.
On we go. And around to the left. Then we go that way. Yeah, there we go.
No, it's not that. When I touch that black mist, those monsters leave behind flashes of your memory pop in my head. I can't want to be.
There we go. That's exactly what you want to see. Again, like the using beatdown to push the enemy into the wall so I can do a bunch of free break damage without really losing meter while I'm doing it, because I'm also getting a lot from hitting the enemy.
I think we could use that.
We should
All
let this
right,
out.
here we go. I'm excited.
I'm so ready.
I would introduce the boss, but I'll let him introduce himself. He'll do it better than I ever could. Also a good chance to stretch my hands a little bit.
Jack, it's up to you now.
Ash?
Jack, snap out of it! Don't let the darkness win!
So I take it you're the one who stole the Earth Crystal's shine.
The crystal's gentle waves resonate through the verdant land, enriching the soil and nurturing the trees. Harvests are bountiful, and from summit to sea, people sing the praises of the earth. A foolish dream, no matter how much you wish it, that season will never come. It will remain a dream so long as I live. Who I am.
I don't give a fuck who you are!
I am Lich, and I shall devour.
Can you believe he's a speedrunner too and tried to skip the cutscene himself?
I'm just having flashbacks to any Dungeons and Dragons game I've ever played where the GMs try to introduce their bad guys. Like, I don't want to let you talk.
Better tread careful.
Damn thing just disappeared.
On your guard.
Also, I was expecting a like reveal of this is my badass name. Just I am Lich. It's like, I kind of got that from your overall vibe, actually.
Not off to a good start.
Victory is still.
So Lich is a bit of an interesting fight. He has a lot. He runs away a lot. And again, a lot of attacks that'll just whiff. That's 2 attacks that just straight up whiff for no reason there.
You love to see it.
So Bone Nail actually does poison you. It's kind of nice that Interception blocks it. Poison does a lot of damage in this game. Binga, that's a command grab. Okay, please. Come on. Really? There we go. This is a great animation. I love this. Oh no, it's the second one. That's the great one.
We're not done yet. These things are big. Won't go down so easy. Jack, ready? Foresight.
Another one of those attacks that will randomly hit you sometimes and randomly won't. Terrifying Embrace. That's the attack I really need to watch for in this phase. I don't know what he was swinging at there. Yeah, Terrifying Embrace. Just need to dodge to the side when I see that. Again, no idea what you're swinging at there, bud. Come on. Cool. Thanks for that, Ash. Dodge to the side. Guess that was swinging at Sophia. Dodge to the side. He has a thing he does where he usually stands still for a bit, and he's just not doing it in this fight. All right, here we go. Let's just rip off that arm, use it as a scythe, and use it to cut him to cut him in half or decapitate him. Hell yeah! Another really nice fight. Honestly, feeling pretty good.
Very nice, very nice.
All right, now we get to move on to one of my two personal favorite Final Fantasies with Final Fantasy IX. We're going to go on our way to the Fire Crystal, and on our way there, we get to go to the Evil Forest from Final Fantasy IX, which, yeah, because we did the Earth Crystal, and these can be done in either order, these should be a much easier set of stages, thankfully. But there's some pretty cool movement, especially in the stage after this one. So right here, we're going to go right on back. Astos is going to say hi again. He's going to say, cool, you did that. Let's go kill the Fire Crystal. In the story, something that we're noticing, though, is that, like, we're fixing the crystals, but, like, things aren't getting better. Like, we fixed the Wind Crystal, and all of a sudden, instead of just, like, you know, nice breezes and stuff, there's, like, massive windstorms and stuff that are happening. We fixed the Earth Crystal, and now, like, you know, things are growing out of control. We fixed the Fire Crystal, and things get way too hot, for instance. So something is clearly not right, and we're not really sure what it is.
Or you're just way too good at your job.
Yeah,
you're fixing the crystals too much.
Yeah, that's probably... We'll figure out what's going on a bit later. So we're going to go here, throw on our haste, and we're going to move on through... Ignore that one, ignore you as well, and climb this rope that is right here. So one nice thing about these stages, they're very short if you do your movement properly on them, which, knowing me, I probably won't do, but that's fine. So going right on through. Need to kill this flower to open this door on the left. It's going to poison us, that's fine, we don't care. Because right here's a crystal anyway. Through, go around on the left. And then we're going to go here and almost immediately pull this little U-turn. Thank you for the fire. Moving on.
So you said with these stages you get to pick the order that you're doing them in?
Yes. So I chose to do the earth instead of the fire. So the fire one, this is the first step on the way to the Fire Crystal. You pick one, you can only do that one, and then once you finish that, you can go back the other way.
Cool. Is there any, like, variation of that between runners, or is it a pretty consistent?
Pretty consistent as far as I know. Generally, the Earth Crystal is supposed to be the harder of the two, but the way it works out in the speedrun, the Zombie Dragon's actually a much easier fight once you're good at it than the Malboro is. So it's nice to be kind of over-geared for the Malboro and kind of under-geared for the Zombie Dragon. Same for like Lich and Marowith. Like there's not that big of a difference between them, so.
On one hand, you get the crown. It ain't like.
All right, moving right on through here, and we're at the boss already. So again, a very quick stage. So let's go ahead and throw on Mighty Strikes and get Interception up as well. So here we're going to fight a giant Malboro. This fight's not too bad normally, I say, but we'll see. Any fight in this game can kill you.
I want it out of my sight.
Oh gosh.
You okay on potions?
This is the rare fight where phase 1's actually a lot harder than phase 2, thankfully.
It's still alive. When will this be over? Stop whining. Die.
He likes to spam tongue-tied once he starts using it, unfortunately.
As if it wasn't revolting enough. Watching it regrow makes my stomach churn.
To be honest, I think it's kind of cute.
We'll have to
And
agree
we're
to
stuck
disagree on that.
silence.
No more potions.
I'm judging. I assume it was Ash who just said, I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Is that the last one?
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so phase 2 is a lot easier than phase 1, thankfully. And again, we're kind of over-geared here, which is nice too. All right, and remember how I talked about how the Lancer job was going to be a surprise tool that would help us later? That's going to be the next dungeon. We're actually going to switch jobs, not for the reasons you might think. But I'll show you when we get into it. So this is the Fire Cavern from Final Fantasy VIII. It's where you find Ifrit at the very start of the game. And it's also where we're going to find Marlith, who is our Chaos of Fire. So in we go, and we're going to go here. And we're going to go to our job trees, and we're just going to... actually, go to battle settings real quick, and we're going to swap this for Lancer. And on we go.
Warm welcome. Time to go to work.
That's
So we're just going to run through this. Took no damage there. That was actually nice.
That's weird. I expect it to be hot, but it's actually pretty nice.
Jack, careful of the gas. You don't want to breathe too much in. Better tread carefully.
All right.
Now let's move.
Wind will rid us of this gas.
So here we go. Here's where we're going to start to do something very funny. So we're going to run on around through here.
I might pass out.
Let's go around.
And rather than run all the way over around, we're just going to take our spear, we're going to throw it at that, and we're going to hit that, and that's going to do what we needed to do there to begin with.
Make things easy.
Which then means that we can just run... What's the right direction here? Spun around a little bit. Over this way.
Does not fear us.
So this is giving you that extra range to be able to
Yep, we
reach
get to...
stuff you're not meant to.
Yeah, we get to just completely skip parts of the dungeon effectively. We're supposed to be kind of running around and doing a bunch of stuff to get to those. And instead, we just have to get to a spot that has a nice, clear throwing angle at it. That one doesn't save a ton of time. The one that really is going to save a bunch of time is coming up like right here. So we see right here, we're supposed to go all the way around, and what we're going to do instead is just sit here
Hotter fire gives off more
and get hit instead of throwing our weapon.
progress.
And we just get to
Nice.
ignore the entirety of this area.
That's very cute.
Carefully.
It actually feels all right.
Yeah, it does.
Seriously? I'm melting over here. Think it'll explode? Let's not take any chances.
A few steps behind. Don't worry. We got this.
I'm concerned by the party just enjoying the gentle warmth of all of the lava. It feels... feels like an understatement on their part. But I guess if we can run through lava if we're fast enough, maybe it's okay.
Yeah, it's a little known trick, right? You know, you Normally you'd expect, dip your hand in a little bit of water and you can dunk it in lava for a second, but no, we can just run through it if we're quick enough. Make sure we're doing our dashes properly. So right here, let's go ahead and heal up just a couple of hits there.
We were just down there not long ago.
Yeah.
So right here, there's another one, but we're not going to bother with it. We're just going to go here instead. Charge up our throwing spear, and we're going to go turn right back around the way we came, and the way's open now. And we just got to skip that entire section.
Pretty high up, aren't we? We must be near the top.
That means the fiend's close too.
Alright.
Make sure you're ready.
Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I need to also re-equip my proper job, which is Sword Fighter. Go back to job trees and go back to advanced. Let's go ahead and just max this out since we're going to be sitting on it anyway. Alright, so this is Marlith. This is another one of those fights that her attacks just don't work sometimes, which is very annoying because, again, a lot of my damage comes from kind of reflecting attacks back at the enemy.
We should keep our distance for now. Look for an opening, then strike.
The gun in her eye. They'll stick you in place.
Victory is still within reach.
Really? The last one still got me? Just
Are you keeping track of
Alright, phase 2.
Give us everything you've got. We'll always be a step ahead.
Fire sword. I should have expected as much.
Careful. Blocking those will leave a mark.
Yeah, she was very cooperative there. Alright, that's Marlith down. We have
Nice.
3 of the 4 fiends down.
You can tell the designers had a lot of fun putting together those like finishing animations.
Oh, they spent so much. Like, very much went with Rule of Cool as well.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
what's the most fun thing we can do with this enemy type? Like every single enemy type has their own. Where it's like, with the wolf, he'll like grab it and he'll crack it over his back. With the skeleton, he'll rip the head off the skeleton and throw it at it. Like, even like the little like every one of them has so much like kind of charm and care put into them. It really is incredible. This game is so much better than some of its parts. I remember like when it was announced, the first trailer, everybody thought like, this game looks kind of goofy. Graphically, it's like kind of fine, but like it wasn't like super impressive for the time. Still isn't impressive. Like, it really is one of those games that just kind of is better than the sum of its parts, I would say.
So everything sort of like come together in the same direction to be like, no, we made something cool here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, again, like, because of the whole, like, hey, we get to kind of revisit a dungeon from everyone. So this is Final Fantasy V. You kind of have that, like, little love letter to the franchise as a whole, and not just, like, here's this kind of weird remake of Final Fantasy I that also is an origin story for Garland. Like,
yeah, I was not expecting to be seeing bits from, like, so much later in the series in your prequel to the first game.
yeah. So it's
Pretty old. I wonder,
you know,
does it work?
I haven't played any of the Neo games. From what I've heard, it's very similar to those. If you like the Neo games, you'll probably like this, and probably vice versa. Again, I just haven't sat down and played the Neos. Heard great things about a lot of them.
Finally open. Let's go.
Hey, Jack.
Let me guess. More memory.
All right. So this is another one of those stages where I have to kind of turn on a bunch of electricity to get things to work. So right here, I need to turn on the electricity in this room for that door. The button for it is over here. So we're going to go in here. We're going to pull this lever. Pull the lever, Crunk. Correct lever this time. Shocking. All right, so we go over here. Hopefully, this guy is going to not bother me too much. Didn't get anything too useful. That's fine.
Let's silence this thing.
I see now the little sentry turrets are active. That's what we want to see. So climb back up this ladder, recreate the shortcut. Unfortunately, we can't skip that because you can't walk around that ladder there without kicking it down. So on we go. And we are into our favorite, which is elevators, which gives me a chance to go back in, optimize gear. Let's see what I got in that. Lightbringer damage dealt, ice break damage. I think that's probably the best, but don't really know.
Or my house. And so,
All right.
home, I can't
So right
remember at all.
here, the lever is actually right here at the very beginning, and we got to run through this whole area with the machines and sentries active. So right on through here, avoid the enemies there, turn around the corner, grab some free spells, always nice. And then around here, let's go ahead and again, have to kind of hop on that ladder to jump around it. Around here on the left. And because electricity's on, we hit the switch. And elevator again. Is there anything that's just like damage up? All damage? I'll take all damage taken down by 1.3%. Maybe that'll matter.
Must also be a reason we're remembering, right?
Like I care.
A nuisance. Let's get on with it.
Lives will be easier without it.
Do you have any guaranteed loot drops, or is it all just random stuff that you're picking up along the way?
Some of the early ones, some of them are fixed. You'll always get the same thing from some of them. Some of them are different. It really is important in about 2 levels here. Again, like we're kind of at this point where the game expects us to be kind of having a bunch of different classes. And most classes have multiple weapons you can use. It's just these base classes that lock you into the one.
To live and no.
All right, so right here, we're gonna go ahead and
Let's not.
That thing hits us.
There must be a way to stop it. We just have
that's gonna fire at us. We're gonna go around here quickly. Let that hit the thing. We're gonna stand here, and right here, this incline is at a perfect height where we get to just ignore it, and then we get to skip the entire sequence we're supposed to do in the dungeon there.
in our sides before dawn.
Tried to get me there, but I was too quick. I didn't really want Ruin go there, but that's fine. I think that's good. And let's go get the equipment here. Yeah, really we're looking for swords is the main thing. And again, we're not guaranteed them, especially as we get later on into the game.
There's a fight up ahead. And it won't be
So,
easy.
right.
We have to focus on
This
what's
is
in
a
front of us before we
chest
can think
over
about the things
here.
behind us.
Completely single-minded, huh?
Yeah, I think that one always has a trident. Now that I think about it. Alright, so this... So see me that's just me applying all my buffs. Again, Mighty Strikes, all my attacks do weak. Toxic, if I hit the enemy 6 times, they're poisoned and take a damage over time. Divine Sigil makes those last longer. And then, of course, Interception, which is kind of the thing that makes this version of the route possible. Crayclaw is interesting. I feel like this is a fight that I either get everything or I get nothing. And right now,
Doesn't bode well.
should spin here. All right, that's phase 1 down.
Looks like that set it off.
I think it might need someone to calm it down.
Then let's get to it, shall we?
It's one of the most satisfying things in any video games when you get those multi-parries off, by the way.
Just hearing that ching, 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 ching.
And there we go. That's
Nice.
Crayclaw down. And we are on our way to Kraken, which is the Fiend of Water and the Final Fiend. Who here likes Final Fantasy VII, or is familiar with it at least?
That one I am at least familiar with.
This is the underwater reactor from Final Fantasy VII, kind of a fitting place for a water demon to be.
Checks out.
I would also say this is when the game kind of re-spikes in difficulty again. Kraken is a really hard fight. And the dungeon itself actually is pretty neat as well. So the gimmick on this one is there are these generators that when you take them out, these doors will open. So we can move along to... it's a little unfortunate we don't get to hear it, but there is a remix of the Underwater Mako reactor theme in this dungeon, and it's really sick.
I should have
Nice.
Or else
Nope,
the fiend
that's the
water
wrong spell. So you select spells by holding the like the button and then using the direction. I just hit down a little bit too much there instead of down and left, which is what haste is.
You shouldn't use fire, right?
So we go right on through here, and this guy is going to use Spark on that to show us that, hey, these things die in one hit to electricity, and when they die, the doors open. So that's our little tutorial.
Was it because we destroyed that generator?
This has a bunch of Sahagins, which are actually a really annoying enemy.
The electricity coming out of that thing. We should definitely keep a white bird.
Not off to a good start. Just keep hitting them.
This door, it has the same design as the other.
So, if we can find a generator,
Party man is really spelling it out for you there. We can find a generator.
Oh my gosh. I just could not consistently hit it there. Too many enemies around me.
Dang.
And my allies were not distracting them well enough.
Too busy talking about generators.
Not a great spot to die, but that's fine. Just catch right back up to where we were. And again, the nice thing is it'll remember what was done previously, so this door is already open. I don't need to wait for it. Okay, spawn the Sahagin, please. Or don't. Wow, okay. A lot of damage there.
So this would be that difficulty spike you were talking
A
about.
little bit, yeah. Not usually there, but not there. Usually one door will do this per run where it just does not cooperate. Again, I'll blame the fact it's early in the morning. The console's probably tired and loading these in weirdly or something. That's what I'll say it is. Okay, I hit this, now it'll spawn. Now I have you pinned against it, which should make this nice and easy. There we go. Okay, that's fine. I don't care.
Door is gone, and that's what counts.
So go whap this a couple times so it dies, and then that'll open this door over here, or we can just ignore the rest of the enemies, thankfully.
That's how it's done.
That looked painful. I'll pass.
So right here, we're gonna go on this ladder, drop down, go on this ladder, drop down, and sneak over here and whap this generator a couple times. And that's gonna open the door over here, and we're out and at a save point.
Nice.
All right. So up next, we have a Sahagin Chief or Sahagin Prince mini
What do you
boss.
think of Princess Sarah?
This one's kind of funny.
At least it's not talk of the past.
The ideal way to do this is to just knock him into the water.
Got no interest in her as a person. I know I have to protect her at all costs.
well, she is the symbol of hope and peace in Cornelia, after all.
If you really want to protect the princess, how about becoming a knight?
That's up to the royal family.
Even if you were knighted,
I would block that.
Requires a less delicate touch. Is that a bird? In the water?
Maybe that's how we got here.
The thing will have to need the moments. Pretend you didn't see it. You okay on potions?
No room for mistakes.
Watch yourself.
Yeah, he is going the complete wrong way to not get knocked into the water, which is fine.
Is that the last one?
Fight with caution.
Okay.
It's over yet, Jack.
That was annoying.
This is just so that you can show us knocking it into the water this time.
Oh, yes. Totally what I meant to do.
It's a showcase, you know?
Yeah, no. Honestly, I'm just tired. I hit the button too late to block a couple of those attacks, if I'm being honest. It's like, oh, yeah, I meant to hit the button. I just hit it too late.
Ready for anything. Better tread careful.
Okay.
We're in for it now.
Once again, the joys of the early morning run.
That's not how that's supposed to work. You're supposed to go in the water, not me.
I'm seeing the water.
Interception on to start. Makes it a lot easier.
Finally, a challenge.
This will be trying.
There we go.
Hey.
And he dies.
Yeah, that does seem easier.
Why does knocking a Sahagin into the water kill it? I don't know.
Famously terrified of water, Sahagin.
By the way, why were those pirates so
On the bright side, on that first fight, I was going to have to go back and heal anyway because it took way too much damage. And there's 2 fights I need to be doing with this one little run. So I would have had to go back to heal anyway.
I'm unclear on the details.
So because it's a marathon, play it a little bit safe and drop down a little bit before falling. You do take fall damage if you don't. And up here, and we have a little Marlboro mini boss as well.
Stay in formation.
Keep your composure.
Your strength is sealed off. Still within reach.
Okay.
Does not fear us.
Okay, good. Finally, he was near one of those explosions.
You need to try something else.
Almost out of motion. Stay sharp, guys. Okay.
Yeah, it has a ton of health. You see why I wanted the actual potions for this fight. I used
Oh, yeah.
4 of them there.
From the other one we've got.
Feels like that was really putting the boss in mini boss.
Yeah, that's probably actually the hardest mini boss in the entire run, to be honest. And Sahagin, if you don't knock him into the water, also takes a similarly long time to kill. Good news is that is the last major point of this dungeon, because the rest of this is just a quick sprint to the boss. So not the best Mako reactor I've ever had, but you know what? It's a marathon. We take those.
Indeed. We got through it. That's the important bit.
I do appreciate that, like, at least when this run goes badly, it does show you how hard this game is sometimes. And I am a human. There are people that are absolute gods at this game. I'm not one of them. Let's go ahead and just re-up our gear.
What? You're calling me
Kind of
out?
a sick look. All right, and here we are on Kraken. This is, again, I think probably in the top 3 hardest bosses in the game.
Okay. We'll lock in.
Yep, we got to knock this one out. And of course he wastes one of my bombs immediately, as he likes to do. Nope. That's some pretty good gear. I'm doing good damage. Really? You guys saw that, right? I blocked into getting hit again, into dying.
Seems totally fair and reasonable.
I even blocked it. Like, I don't know what the game wanted of me there.
The game wanted you to die.
So one thing about Kraken, he's a lot of unblockables. He's been on a mission to burn all of the electric bombs in phase 1. I hope that doesn't bite me in phase 2.
Let's lop off those tentacles. You won't need any of them when these go.
Oof.
Unblockable into unblockable. And I barely got clipped by that first hit.
Hits like a truck as well.
Yeah, like it's, again, everything two-shots me just about.
Yep.
And it's very easy for one hit to lead to a second hit. I could have blocked the second and third hits, but that timing is just a little bit tricky sometimes.
Yeah, I assume especially after you're staggered from that first one as well.
Yeah, it's very easy to miss that and die in one shot from that attack.
You tried knocking the Kraken into the water.
We'll see that later.
Oh, okay.
That's why I kind of don't want him to blow up all the bombs, actually. I want those for phase 2. That's the command grab. I blocked that. Unblockable. Take it out of the way. Our Mighty Strikes on, get the damage up a little bit. Okay. He gets the buff when he does that, but gives me a nice bit of time to wail on him a little bit. Another bomb used. Love that. All right, so here's phase 2. I will say Wheat for Your Misfortune is a metal as hell line. All right.
He's watching our every move. Be careful.
Second blow up in time? Nope. That's when he goes into the water.
the water.
If you can blow up one of those bombs while he's in the water, which is hard to do because you can't lock onto them, you can knock him out of the water and stun him. And if you don't, he instead gets a buff, which is like that little water coating he's got.
Right. So it turns out Kraken not allergic to water.
Yeah. Not H2O intolerant like his friend, the Sahagin.
Unlike the Sahagin.
I assume what happened with the Sahagin is they found out in testing early on that he could fall into the water, and they didn't want to change that stage there.
Yeah. And just went, you know what, that's a fun cheese to leave in.
It's like to avoid soft locking, they're just like, okay, if he falls into the water, despawn him and give them the thing for killing him. And he blew up my last bomb. All right, cool. First try phase 2 at least.
Clean phase 2.
We'll take that. All right, so up next we cleared all the fiends. We've restored balance to the world. Everything should be good and hunky-dory. We're going to go back to the castle, and things are wrong. All the pirates from earlier are really mad at us because they can't sail anymore because the winds are breaking their sails and the waves are really rough and nothing they can do.
Again, sounds like they need to just get over you being an overachiever.
I know. I'm too good at my job. But also, weird things are happening. They're kind of like acting possessed by some kind of like extra evil.
Oh, that seems less good.
Yeah, that's a little bit more annoying. So we're actually going to have to fight Bit Gay again here. And this is both an easier and a harder fight than the first time we fought him. It's easier because we should be better geared. We have better everything. And he doesn't actually have his pirate buddies this time to kind of distract us. He does do a lot more damage this time, and it's very easy to kind of just get one shot in comparison. So, and the fight itself should be shorter than the first time we fought him. So hopefully we can live up to that. All right, so yeah, there's a ruckus outside the castle after they're already mad at us for doing our jobs as the Warriors of Light. I don't know. So we got to go deal with these pirates.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a totally normal thing you see outside the castle. And
Aforementioned chaos.
it's a festival. Like, people are just having fun.
Yeah. There's party on the street.
Let's be quick.
We're Australians. We're used to that.
These pirates have all gone mad. No mercy, or we die.
They see they're all turning into monsters and becoming evil. Again, must be some really good beer or something.
Everyone can handle that.
I doubt we can expect a thank you, even if we say.
Or I guess rum. They're pirates, right? They wouldn't be drinking beer. What am I
This
talking
is
about?
true. This is true.
I got to respect the lore.
Yo ho.
That is the name of his command grab, is Yo Ho Ho, which I do love. It's kind of great. The pirate's command grab, he like grabs a bottle of rum and smashes your face with it. It's kind of amazing.
I love it, just really doubling down on like, all right, what nonsense can pirate do?
Furious Blow, that's unblockable. There's Yo-Ho-Ho. I would love to get hit by that just to show it, but I'm not going to.
You'll restrain yourself.
By the game, I promise you'll get hit by it at least once.
Yeah, and if it happens, it's because you're showing us what it looks like. It's the only risk.
Okay. Spree up, interception. Well, there's him doing it to the other character.
I saw the text.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa, that was close.
Okay, cool. First try at that. That was the fight that I just got like hard stuck on in my limit break run. I don't know what was going on. It was just one of those days where sometimes you get stuck on random fights in this game. And the classic thing about this being what it is sometimes when you get stuck on a fight, you start death cycling, it just gets worse. So very happy to first try that to get my revenge on him in a marathon, thankfully.
Very nice, very nice.
All right, so we know something is up. And the only person that we think would know what's going on is Astos, because he's the one that told us about the crystals, where to go for them. So we're looking for Astos. And we are going to go to... Forget what the name of this is. This is the Final Fantasy XI stage. I don't know Final Fantasy XI very well at all. The only thing I know is from the TCG. So I know character names, but I don't know much about the story. I believe this is where you fight the Shadow Lord in the base version of Final Fantasy XI. This is another one of those stages that is very big and very strange, and we're going to do a lot of stuff kind of out of the intended order.
Honestly, I find it unsettling.
So we're going to go right up around this staircase here.
Let's find Astos.
You can just walk around. We're just going to go beat through this wall right here. There's these breakable walls in this stage to kind of open up new paths. Those are going to be pretty important, actually. It's going to allow us to skip a couple things that we might not have done otherwise.
Is that like there's a long, obvious path around?
You like would eventually figure it out, but like if you don't, it's like a much longer path. We're going to kind of like open up shortcuts in the reverse order, what's kind of intended.
Cool.
Which means that we only have to like climb the tower one time.
Let's be quick.
Right here, through here. I do think it's funny they complain about this stage all looking the same. It's one that I get lost on pretty regularly. Case in point, it's, I think this way, right? Yeah, cool. If you step in the middle of that circle, you do get stuck there and have to break the little trinket. We'll see one of those in a little bit here. So there's our first key. We're going to need 3 of those.
Stories say it started as a tiny village, looked down upon by the great.
Right, so right here.
Some sorcery or science soon overshadowed its neighborhood.
Some important lore going on. Don't pay attention to it again. You'll get it if you play the game. Like I said, I do think it's funny. Like I said, they complain, "Wow, this place all looks the same. How are we going to figure out where to go?" And it's like, yeah, tell me about it.
I'm feeling it.
It's also really funny when you do this speedrun. She like starts telling the story and then she stops for like 2 seconds. It's like, I never finished my story, did I? Let's go finish it.
You're like, I was just waiting for you to finish your sentence.
So right here, this is a key. We're kind of getting this in a bit of a weird order, kind of out of the way. You wouldn't know that that's there normally. Gonna grab this chest just in case. This is where we're really looking for swords in particular.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the worst boss in the game at the end of this. And the better my gear is, the faster that fight will probably go.
Worst as in hardest, or worst as in
worst as
do not
in,
want?
I have had this fight take me 12 minutes, and I don't think I did much wrong.
Right.
That is just how that fight will go sometimes.
Yeah.
Elevator. Let's take a peek what we got. Ooh, I like that. All damage taken minus 2.1%.
What is this?
So we're gonna go grab this, and then we're gonna go run over here. Let's go snag these real quick. Again, just more gear is nice. And while we're riding this elevator, let's take another look here. That seems pretty good. Damage, intellect, strength, agility, damage dealt. No, I like that one. I like the darkness soaked eye patch. We'll run with that. All right, so go back to this. Set our save point. Go haste. Right here, we're going to see the first of those little traps that I was talking about. The only one we really need to interact with. And I'm hoping we can just keep this giant on the other side of it.
Someone in Lufenia had a serious sadistic streak.
Testing us. Not just bastards.
Giant's AI gets stuck real easily, thankfully, so it's not too unlikely that we can just do that, ignore him entirely, and then just move on into the warp. Have fun, Sophia and Ash. Alright, so right here, here's the second crystal that we need.
Second crystal activated.
And then the third one is going to be here. We'll grab this key, take this elevator again. We can double check our gear one last time. Strength plus 3 might actually be... that's damage. Let's up the damage, because I'm going to need as much as I can for this boss. Again, it's not a very big difference, but... I don't know. Nothing else to do on an elevator. Might as well check that.
Check some loot. I take it as just generally looking for big damage.
Just looking for damage
reduction.
up. You know, it's a speed run. We need to kill things quickly.
Yep.
All right. Okay, good. Just distract her for me. You got this, guys. Good job. Here's the last one right here. So we got our third crystal. Go over here, collect the gear. Don't have an easy way of killing that cactuar. I might do it for the gear. And you see we're at a 76 on our sword, and the recommended level for the area is 88. So not great, but like that should be doable. On we go to the Iron Giant, which is my least favorite boss in the entire game. Phase 1's not too bad. Phase 1's really fun. Phase 2, though, has a nearly unreactable, anythingable command grab. And your allies die very quickly against it, so you don't necessarily have a great way of being aggressive, and you don't have a great way of doing consistent damage. So like I've had it before where it's like I just poison him 3 times and run away. Like that just kind of was what that fight ended up devolving down to, because my allies took way too much damage at the start of the fight.
Right. And then just hope it does not use command grab.
Also, a lot of these attacks just are not consistent. Smite, that's unblockable, does a ton of damage, and he likes to spam it. So if he does it once, he'll often do it multiple times in a row.
Yes, I see that.
Had the Lightbringer there to just survive. Unfortunately, it means I don't have any meter. Like, you can look at my meter, I have 1 meter. I need to actually get some soul parries to rebuild gauge. Still don't even have a full bar meter. I have a bar of meter now. Okay, back to where I was. Ouch. So Sophia went down here in phase 1, which I don't like.
My apologies.
Well, at least she apologized for it.
Great Wheel is one of those attacks that just does not work sometimes. And I have no potions for phase 2. So awesome.
Okay,
That's where I want to
okay,
be in the worst
okay.
fight in the game. All right.
It's just a mindless beast driven by darkness. Better tread carefully.
Toss is the command grab that is a huge pain.
Nice dodges then.
Powered by ancient technology or dark energy. It's overstated slowly. Let's shut it down already.
Give up on me, Ash.
I disagree. I blocked that.
I'm with you there. I'll write them a letter.
Oh, gosh. Oh. That's all right. That was going to be a really slow run to the end there. We'll just get a better fight.
Take 2. You really feel the allies going down, huh?
Yeah, no,
So-
it really matters in this one. Like, it's the only fight in the game where I think it really makes a huge difference. Just because that phase 2 is so difficult to consistently damage them.
Also, I hadn't appreciated how quiet it would feel without the constant banter going on behind you.
Yeah, Sophia went down. See, she still has 4 potions even, so she just got 1 shot.
Right.
So now I have to go over to her and use one of my own potions on her, which I don't want to do. But I'm probably going to have to do that at the start of the second phase, just to, like, up the damage for that fight in particular. So something nice, this first phase really is not bad. Although, look, I mean, Ash is on 1 potion now.
Yeah, not bad being a relative term.
Please aim for me, not Ash. Ash, can you block an attack, please? I'm begging you, man. Okay. And I was stuck in the arm, so I couldn't run over to Sophia. And Ash is down too, by the way.
Oof. And potionless.
Alright, where are you? There. I just could not see.
Camera, please.
Alright. And Sophia just immediately gets donked by that. Focus on me. You guys just hit him from behind or something, and I'll just keep his... Sophia just got bonked again there. That's what you love to see. Ow. If you don't laugh, you'll cry sometimes. All right. Yeah. Single unblockable hit, by the way, was the entire thing that killed me there. As you did not get hit by that.
Seems fair and reasonable.
Oh. Yeah, I could have Lightbringer to live that, but I was going to just let that one go. All right, this one for sure. Let's go. Good initial burst of damage. Where are you?
Thank you, Jack.
All right, phase 2.
Oh, here we go.
Something nice. I did get my... Don't want to be behind them. Yep, there's the command grab I was talking about.
Yeah, that hurts, huh?
Yep. It's very hard to avoid. Don't really want to be behind you.
Fight with caution.
And there goes Ash. Let's get Venom up. No. Come on. No, not today. Ow. There we go.
Huge. Well done.
Oh, goodness. Another one of those fights as well, like, the worse it starts, the worse it ends as well, because again, without my allies, I don't have anything to distract them, I don't have anything to increase the damage, like, and there's so many unsafe things he does in that second, like, phase of the fight, where it's like, you can't stand next to him because of toss. The attacks are really annoying and difficult to actually block if you're up in close, but if you're far away, you can't actually hit him, so you're in this weird, awkward spot of, like, we just have to get there in this fight.
Can see how it really like spirals out of control very quickly.
Yeah, it is not ideal.
So, and that's the worst boss fight in the run done.
That is
now,
by
yeah?
far the worst fight in the run.
All right, so all uphill from here.
Yeah, should be a lot better. And the annoying thing is, again, like the way that's like the fight where your gear matters the most as well. This fight, this is another dungeon where I'm going to be trying to hunt for specifically another sword. There's going to be a couple extra chests I open trying to find one. If I don't find one, though, the fight will go fine. I should be able to deal with the behemoth regardless. So this is from Final Fantasy 15. This is the court, I believe. I forget which one it is. I haven't played much of Final Fantasy 15, so I don't remember if this is supposed to be Insomnia or somewhere else. So, on we go. See, the gimmick in this one is there are these little beacons that you need to kill. When you kill them, the doors will open for us. So we're going to go ahead and take this out. While that's going, we're going to go over here and peep this chest. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. Not that one. It's over here.
Is there much you can do if you're finding bad loot? Is it just like, all right, got to deal with it, or are there any sort of backups or?
Nope, it's just a part of the run.
Right. Just hope to find more.
You can like try to kill a couple of extra enemies as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit greedy on the healing there. That's fine. So,
Let's be quick.
Time to go to work.
through there.
We're safe.
Get ourselves together.
It's there. Back out. So that should have been a pretty quick death. Once I figure out, got spun around a little bit from that, unfortunately.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Let's knock 'em down.
What am I doing here? So that's that.
Back to dealing with the winding closed hallways.
Yeah, so that's there. So
What now?
it's straight then. No, it's not straight. That's a start. Straight through here. Brings me to this. And that's that. Which I will grab real quick.
See what's inside, Jack.
And then
Hey, Jack.
it's
We need to have a talk.
that.
Now that our crystals won't protect us from the mist.
There we go. I know where I am now.
Nice.
You depended on yours to keep you safe.
We'll offer it just to get that extra test, you know?
I have not ever died in that spot, so I was like, I know there
what's
should
the
be a
back-
faster way of going about this, but
Shut up.
again, early morning. We'll just blame that.
I see some cubes over there.
Boop.
Hey, what are we even doing here?
Killing all the monsters. Duh.
We do this for Astos.
Straight
They
through.
give us the info we want.
Round to the right.
I get the feeling he knows lots of stuff.
Ow.
That was pretty
Ow.
slick, Jack.
Get up. Did I get that there? No, 2 hits away. Okay, cool. We're out.
Almost out of potions.
Stay sharp, guys.
Alright, so hopefully I can take this with me.
I get the same vibe.
Not knocking her into that, which is making that a lot worse.
That looks to be the final one.
That siren's trying to get me.
Mission isn't over.
And the wind elemental did get me. Damn. That boiled down to the enemy not going in the direction I wanted them to when I hit them. Do you have to go all the way around? Okay.
There you go. Jack, let's go.
All you got?
Time is of the essence.
Better tread careful.
There we go. See how much easier it is when you can actually bring the enemy with you into the thing,
Much like to see.
because you can kind of cover your hits.
Yeah, it seemed much simpler that time.
We're a few steps behind.
Victory is still within reach.
Helps if you actually walk on the pillar properly, a little bit.
I don't care about any of that crap.
If it's not chaos, killing chaos, or light and dark, who cares, right?
Wrong. All of that's just background noise. All I care about is
Finding something to replace that purpose you lost.
you got it. I need a name.
Here.
I'm nothing without a battle to fight.
So Lufenia sees his left usage.
Sometimes there's a tombear or a Kekbar that just runs around in here, but it's not here this time, so that's really. All right.
Defenses are shattered.
Ah, we're back to where we were.
We'll use this to get back.
All right, this room's funny. There's 4 of them with a little bit of health, or with less health, and there's an ogre in the middle. And the ogre, we're just gonna hope just chills out and gets stuck on the pillars as we're hitting them.
Just pay no attention to what I'm doing over here.
Yeah. All right. So we're just like using the pillars, trying to get him stuck on them, keep him away from us. We're not gonna kill him. He's got a ton of health. It'll take a while. Not really a reason to. Okay.
The barrier must have gone down somewhere.
Jack, you okay?
All right.
That drive inside of you was what kept you.
Save the queen. That's exactly what I needed. I actually don't need much else, thankfully.
It's not like our job's over.
Getting stuck with a Rakshasa blade for a long time. Like I've been stuck with a Rakshasa blade all the way through the next dungeon. But Save the Queen is like the right level of sword for this dungeon, thankfully.
Huge.
So, through here.
All right.
Wow.
Which is nice. I actually don't need to even open up some of these chests that I normally would open.
I never pegged you for a nature lover.
You really know how to ruin the moment, huh, Jack?
We should be careful.
Spinning darkness.
So much easier when you pin the elemental to the freaking wall.
Show off. You got a ways to go.
Alright, so you can open up the shortcut there if you want to. We're not going to. We're just going to go right into the elevator right here. And since we're in an elevator, let's go ahead and equip. Well, nothing new in accessories. I think we're still fine there.
One thing's for certain. We're better off.
This is probably one of the two last difficult mob fights. There's going to be 3 of those doors in the area. One of them's going to spawn a giant that I'm going to try to avoid ever interacting with. So first one down. What's the positioning on you?
That's in our way.
Let's clean it up.
Perfect. Okay. Giant's kind of aggroed onto me. I'm going to go over here and beat up the 2 pillars I need to. Let my allies kind of distract him and kind of pull some aggro away from the other things so I can wail on it a little bit. Where are you? Oh, that's pretty good positioning. I'll let you... You got this, Ash.
They've overstayed their welcome.
Let's see what's inside. This is the one.
Grab the last of our gear over here.
Jack, are you up for this? There's an enemy ahead. I know you sense it.
Dumb question. I can always fight, especially to get what I want. Time for a change.
And on to the classic Final Fantasy fight. We are going to fight a behemoth here.
Ooh, big friend.
So Behemoth has one rule that I'm struggling to get in position for. You want to be hitting its back legs as much as possible. It's the safest area to be in the fight. Because that is why.
Save some of that for later.
No room for mistakes. We're in for it now.
Victory is still within reach.
There's a lot of unblockables that all go in
Our mission is
directly in front.
Right. Hence, get in behind.
Yeah. And he just put himself in a corner there, which was very fun. Love that.
That sounds like cheating.
Yeah. You can dodge heat with a well-timed dodge at least. It's not too bad. Rush is a little harder to dodge. That said, I'm getting.
We got this. Better tread carefully.
Powering up.
Something big's coming.
The mission isn't over yet, Jack.
I'd say the only issue with this fight is the camera sometimes, and you get stuck in a corner.
The greatest enemy of any 3D game. The camera.
We can work with that.
Not dead yet.
It's not over unless we give up.
Save some of that.
Fight with caution.
Can you get away from the wall, please?
We must help Jack.
Better tread carefully. Almost out of potions. Gotta stay sharp, guys.
Keep your wits about you and we'll be fine.
All right, phase 2. This is Dragon King. Any Magic the Gathering fans in the audience?
What is a living crystal?
Shatter it to pieces.
Because you're hitting it at random.
Same rule applies. Get behind them.
Does that work in Magic as well?
Maybe. If you don't get behind him, that soul pillar is basically undodgeable. The gimmick on this fight is you're supposed to hit him in the same area as much as possible.
Is that breaking the crystals off?
Yeah, it like breaks the crystals off. We're just gonna run away for this.
Oh.
Okay.
That feels like a real what were you supposed to do there moment.
Again, against the wall.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been. That's all right. Can we get away from the wall, please?
I think he heard you talking about the back legs being a weakness. It was like, well, I just want
Yeah.
to expose them.
What if I just make it where you don't have access to those?
So thank you for the feedback. I will take it on board.
All right. Here we go. I was behind him there.
Yeah, I was
No
about
way.
to say, like, literally, I was about to go, oh, that looks a lot easier to dodge when you're behind him. And then, guess that's some AoE on that, huh?
No, it is. Like, I know it can hit from behind. I thought
Yeah,
it was way
just-
far enough away. The only thing is, he's not even guaranteed to do that. That, oh, wow. The heave missed. Okay.
Save some of that for later.
A little bit of luck.
Caution. Doesn't go well. Your defenses falter.
You okay on potions?
He's got out of the corner.
Gotta stay sharp, guys.
All right, come on. Get out.
Push her into the other side.
I don't know if we can make it without any potions.
Fight with caution.
That up. That up.
Potions.
Gotta stay sharp, guys.
Okay. That soul pillar almost caught me.
Keep your wits about you and we'll be fine.
I swear if that hits
that
me.
time it's not catching.
Nice. There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
Well done.
Really was not cooperating there, though, was he?
Just checking, do you have an estimate on how much longer the run's got left in it?
I might have to cut it short, just given that we're getting closer to the estimate at 320. So,
Have you got? Is there anything cool left to show? Because we can run for like 5 more minutes and then we just cut it there.
yeah, we'll cut it here. That's good.
Okay. Noobs. We're cutting here. Is that okay? Yeah. Just do your send off.
Yeah. No, thanks everybody for watching. So there are a couple of extra dungeons. There's some cool fights in them. Definitely check out a full run if you haven't already. But given that it sounds like we're a little bit behind on schedule, saving a bit of time here sounds like a good idea. And I'm definitely not going to be able to get to the end in 15 minutes. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Shout outs to my amazing host as well. I really have appreciated it. It's been a lot of fun having some banter back and forth.
It's been good hanging out.
And yeah, so that was Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Fantastic game. Check it out. And thanks for watching.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you very much once again, Ghoul02, for that run. It was really, really cool getting to see that. I heard it was going to be a lot of fun and really, really cool game. Thank you as well, everyone, for hanging around with us for the early shift this morning. I'm going to be signing off in a minute and we'll be setting up for our next run, which is Diablo 3. So stick around. Make sure that you're sending your donations to Game on Cancer for this fantastic cause. And we'll be with you with more gaming very, very soon.
right. We don't have a host right now, so I'm gonna quickly throw it over to you guys. Next up is Diablo 3 new game, any % co-op 3-player with Mitro, Hexen, and Whispera. Take it away.